Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if they be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. It is one of the most famous lines in modern cinema, spoken by Sir Anthony Hopkins. For over a decade, Marvel fans have debated one simple question. What does it actually mean to be worthy? Is worthiness about being physically strong? Clearly not. Is it about having a good heart? Perhaps, but that doesn't explain every character. Is it about selflessness? That comes closer. Or is it something even deeper? Today we're exploring one of the greatest mysteries in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and asking what Odin may really have meant when he enchanted Mjölnir. The origin of the enchantment. After the beginning of Thor 2011, Thor is powerful but arrogant. He seeks glory. He enjoys battle. He believes power belongs to him simply because he was born a prince. After restarting a war with the frost giants, Odin strips Thor of his powers and banishes him to Earth. Then comes the enchantment. Whoever holds this hammer, if they be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. Notice what Odin does not say. He doesn't say, whoever is strongest. He doesn't say, whoever is Asgardian. Nor does he say, whoever is good. Instead, he chooses a deliberately vague word. Worthy. Strength isn't enough. If physical strength determined worthiness, Hulk then could lift Mjölnir. He can't. Many incredibly powerful beings fail. The Destroyer couldn't claim it. Thanos never lifted it. Countless warriors across the MCU couldn't even move it an inch. Clearly, raw power isn't enough. A good heart isn't enough. Many kind characters never lift the hammer. Bruce Banner is compassionate. Peter Parker risks his life for strangers. Even characters like Doctor Strange or Wong display incredible courage. Yet none of them are shown lifting Mjölnir. Being a genuinely good person appears to be necessary, but not sufficient. Humility. Thor's greatest flaw wasn't cruelty. It was pride. He believed he deserved power. Only after losing everything did he begin to understand responsibility. When Thor throws himself between the Destroyer and innocent people, he expects to die. There is no audience, no glory, no reward, just sacrifice. Only then does Mjölnir return. Perhaps humility is one of the first requirements. A worthy person doesn't seek power for themselves. They seek to protect others. Selflessness. This may be the clearest theme throughout the MCU. Thor becomes worthy only after willingly sacrificing himself. Vision immediately hands the hammer back to Thor instead of claiming it. Steve Rogers repeatedly risks everything without hesitation. None of these characters seek personal gain. Power is never the goal. Helping others is. Perhaps Mjölnir chooses those who would rather protect than rule. Courage. Thor repeatedly faces enemies he cannot defeat. Steve Rogers stands alone against Thanos' army. Jane Foster knowingly shortens her own life to save others. Worthiness seems to require courage, not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite fear. Responsibility. Power without responsibility is dangerous. Odin understood this better than anyone. Thor once viewed Mjölnir as a weapon. Later, he understood it as a responsibility. Every worthy wielder recognizes that power exists to serve others, not themselves. Leadership. Interestingly, every confirmed wielder possesses leadership qualities. Thor inspires, Steve inspires, Vision inspires, Jane inspires. Leadership here isn't about giving orders. It's about setting an example. Others willingly follow because they trust the person's character. The willingness to sacrifice. Perhaps this is the greatest common thread. Thor sacrifices himself. Steve sacrifices everything. Vision ultimately gives his life. Jane sacrifices her future. Every worthy character accepts suffering if it means protecting someone else. None seek immortality. None seek comfort. They simply choose what is right. Why Captain America could lift Mjölnir. One of the biggest debates surrounds Steve Rogers. Could he always lift the hammer? Or did he become worthy later? The famous scene in Age of Ultron shows Mjölnir slightly moving. Thor notices. Steve immediately stops trying. Some believe Steve was already worthy but chose not to embarrass Thor. Others argue he wasn't yet completely worthy because he was still keeping the truth about Bucky and Tony Stark's parents from Tony. Marvel intentionally leaves the question unanswered. Either interpretation supports the same idea. Worthiness isn't perfection. It's about character. What about vision? Perhaps the most fascinating exception is Vision. The moment he is born in Avengers Age of Ultron, he casually picks up Mjölnir and hands it to Thor as though it were no more remarkable than lifting a cup from a table. The Avengers are stunned. Thor isn't. In fact, Thor immediately accepts Vision as an ally. Why? Some fans argue that Vision can lift a hammer simply because he is an artificial being, like an elevator. But that explanation doesn't quite hold up. If Vision could lift Mjölnir simply because he was synthetic, then in theory a being like Ultron should qualify as well. Yet everything we know about Odin's enchantment suggests it judges character rather than biology or construction. Vision isn't worthy because he is a machine. He is worthy because of who he is. The enchantment appears to recognize him as a worthy wielder. Perhaps the answer lies in Vision's nature. At the moment of his creation, Vision has no greed, no arrogance, no hatred, and no desire for power. He has immense strength, yet no ambition to rule. He possesses incredible intelligence, but no ego to corrupt it. He exists only to help. Throughout the films, Vision consistently demonstrates compassion, wisdom, restraint, and a willingness to sacrifice himself for others. He never seeks power for his own sake. In many ways, he embodies the very virtues Odin hoped Thor would one day learn. Perhaps worthiness is not measured by what someone can do with power, but by whether they desire power in the first place. Jane Foster. Jane adds another piece to the puzzle. She isn't a warrior by nature. She's a scientist. Yet when people need protecting, she accepts enormous personal suffering. Mjölnir responds not to physical ability, but to courage and selfless love. Her story reminds us that heroism doesn't require muscles. It requires heart. Could anyone become worthy? Perhaps the most beautiful message of Mjölnir is this: worthiness isn't something you're born with. Thor wasn't born worthy. He had to become worthy. Steve wasn't born Captain America. His character existed long before the serum. Jane earned the hammer through her choices. The enchantment suggests worthiness is achieved through the way we live, not through status, wealth, race, or strength. What might have Odin meant? Looking at every confirmed wielder, a pattern begins to emerge. Worthiness appears to combine several virtues: humility, selflessness, courage, integrity, responsibility, compassion, leadership, the willingness to sacrifice. No single quality is enough. Instead, worthiness seems to be the harmony of all of these virtues working together. Perhaps Odin wasn't looking for someone powerful enough to wield the hammer. He was looking for someone wise enough not to abuse its power. The lesson for us: Whether or not magic hammers exist, the idea of worthiness remains incredibly powerful. Imagine asking yourself each morning, am I acting with courage? Am I helping others? Am I honest? Am I humble? Am I using whatever power I have, whether that's knowledge, kindness, influence or strength, to lift others instead of myself? Perhaps that's why Mjölnir continues to fascinate audiences. Deep down, every one of us wonders the same thing. If the hammer landed in front of me, or you, would we be worthy? Conclusion. Marvel never gives us a definitive answer, because perhaps there isn't one. Worthiness isn't a checklist. It's a journey. It's the continual choice to put others before ourselves, to stand against injustice, to remain humble despite success, to sacrifice when necessary, to protect rather than dominate. In many ways, Mjölnir doesn't simply test strength, it tests character. And perhaps Odin's greatest lesson is that true power has never belonged to those who seek it. It belongs to those who would carry it with wisdom, humility, and love. Thor discovered that being worthy wasn't about lifting Mjölnir. It was about becoming the kind of person Mjölnir would choose. Maybe that's a lesson for all of us. Not whether we could lift the hammer, but whether we are becoming the kind of people worthy of the responsibility that comes with power. Perhaps that is what truly means to be worthy. I hope this video has helped in explaining the answers behind the enchantment. If you like this video, then hit the like, and if you're new to the channel, then please do subscribe. It would be great to have you with us. Until next time, take care and be well.